Hey guys, welcome to another edition of the Melbourne Victory Supporters Preview. Of course, we are fresh off a humongous victory over the Central Coast Mariners. Now we look forward to the Jeonbuk Motors and of course the Perth Glory on this weekend coming. The boys don't have to travel to South Korea or China or anything, so it should be a decent performance. I, of course, am Danny Ratner-Pinter.
And I'm Bryce Clayton.
Now, of course, we have to look back to the Central Coast Mariners game. Thrilling encounter it really was. What did you take out of that game?
Well, it was a huge 3 points to get, and
It really was.
yeah, definitely. And with the young team at the start, I thought that we were going to struggle. I mean, Adama Traore pulled out at the last minute. We had Milligan out, Tom Rogic out, and we also had Lawrence Thomas in keeper. So
yeah, I mean, I think there were about 5 or 6 omissions overall, something like that. Ado Layer, of course, is out as well. All round, it wasn't too good. But we did see a great first goal from my new man crush, Jimmy Jago. He scored his first goal in 2 years. It was a good dummy that he got off Guy Finkler, which was really giving a lot of space inside the box. He just sort of taps the ball in nice and low in the bottom corner, sends the crowd into raptures, as Bryce always says. But it was a real thrilling encounter. Then, of course, terrible, woeful goalkeeping from Lawrence Thomas, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he came out and he dove for the ball, but he was nowhere near it, and a bit of an experience showing there.
Look, mate, I think it's time to bring back Mitch Langerak. I mean, after his performance against Ecuador, we want this. I mean, Borussia Dortmund, they're so happy to have this man playing for him, and we miss him at the Victory. We need more of this at the Melbourne Victory.
Getting sent off after just a few minutes.
Oh, okay, fine. You know what? Brad Jones. We should get Brad Jones because this is much better. I think get the legend, the hero will come home. He can do this every single match. I mean, wouldn't that just be thrilling, Bryce?
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
I think we're used to seeing 4 goals go past us in our teams at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean that's not really ideal, but albeit it is a good week because we didn't concede 4 goals. We played a good game. We only conceded the 1 goal, and of course
it was a howler, but
it was, of course.
Managed to keep a
clean
sheet for the rest of the game.
Absolutely, and then of course the third goal in the entire match came from James Troisi from a spot kick. Of course, it was a handball off Zach Anderson, the very attractive Zach Anderson, I might say, and of course James Troisi just off the crossbar bounces in. Sends the crowd into raptures. And, of course, third goal, Archie Thompson over to Costa Barbarouses, the New Zealand international. Fresh off international duties against Japan, they were absolutely demolished. I think, by the way, it wasn't the best performance from the squad that narrowly missed out on the World Cup against Mexico. But nevertheless, Costa Barbarouses is in good form for the Victory, and I'm really happy with that. All round, I'd say good to bounce back from a couple of 4-0 goals being conceded.
Yeah, definitely, and it was good to see Costa coming off the bench and showing some good form again, and by then it was just relief. I mean, not as much celebration as much as relief that knowing we had the 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, definitely needed it.
Okay, well, we look at James Troisi, we look at Archie Thompson, who too has been in great form. I mean, if you look over the past few weeks, Archie Thompson has been in goal scoring form over this season. He is getting on in the years, but he still remains as, in my opinion, one of Australia's best options. As I'd probably say, a super sub coming in, and there is no actual real designated striker on the Socceroos starting 11, and of course we're fresh off the aforementioned match against Ecuador at the Den in Millwall in London. It was a 3-0 scoreline at half-time. Matty Ryan kept a great clean sheet, and then of course changes were made, and we ended up. Well, bring us through what happened.
Well, that's what you get with a friendly. You're allowed, I think it's 6 substitutions.
Yeah, that's right.
And Ange Postecoglou tried to, change it up a little bit, bring in Langerak, give them both a chance, Matt Ryan and Langerak, to show what they're worth. But it's not very often that you see 3 keepers present in one match for the one team, and that was what happened this time. And it didn't take too long for Langerak to concede that first goal, and then the second one gets sent off, and in comes Brad Jones, and it wasn't exactly great, but that first half we did show a lot of promising signs.
Of course, yeah.
Tommy Rogic played pretty well, I have to say.
Tommy and Mark Milligan got the first assist. He had to Tim Cahill.
Definitely, he had a great game as well, so it's good to see that. But we have to. Obviously, we got the game coming up against South Africa in a couple of months, so had to be the send off for the Socceroos. We're going to do much better.
It'll be good. Bad thing is it is in Sydney. What do you make of that? Always FFA just choosing Sydney over the rest, eh?
FFA. every game in Sydney.
Yeah.
Come on, bring some to Melbourne. We want some games here.
Hey mate, look at the Jordan game. I mean, you know, we had the 4-0 win. When Archie came on, everyone was, you know, up in the air. Terrace Australis was going off.
It took him a minute to have an impact.
Yeah, exactly. I really think the Melbourneian crowd makes a huge impact over any other Australian crowd.
We get a bigger crowd.
I mean, at least give Adelaide or Perth or Brisbane a bit of a go before.
They deserve it. Sydney gets every single game. They got the Manchester United game last year. They got the Juve game coming up.
Yeah.
And now they got the South Africa
Look,
game.
For growth in the game, I think they had a game in Canberra quite a few years ago. However, I think it was good to go down to Canberra because...
Exactly. You had to give some other states a go. I mean,
you
can't have every game in New South Wales.
It's not only that, but I think the FFA were in talks with Canberra United and people who were responsible for the bid of expansion.
Yep.
And what ended up happening is they said, okay, you've got all the ingredients for an A-League side. They already have a W League side. They're doing quite well. They said, if you can get 20,000 to this game, we'll give you a squad. We'll give you a side in the A-League. And they got 22k, and to this day, still no squad. And I don't think they ever had the intention of making a Canberra side. I think they didn't think they were going to get 20k. They got it, and they never gave it to them. Of course, Wanderers then came into the competition hard as well. I would have preferred any day of the week to give Canberra a team over Hart. Or anyone over Hart, to be honest.
Exactly. Well, we can't just keep cramming these teams into these small areas. We've got to expand. You know, give Canberra a team, give Tasmania a team, give
Auckland, South Coast. Think about Fury, Northern Fury, not Townsville.
Yeah, no.
But somewhere in the
Northern
north.
Fury would be good,
that would be good. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you just got to expand it. I mean,
Gold Coast.
You can't keep shoving teams. Like, you know, in Sydney, you've got 4 teams within about 2-hour drive.
And they want to bring in Wollongong though. I reckon that'll work. I reckon it will.
Sure.
I mean, they were champions back in the day. But you look at Gold Coast. Look, they never got good crowds, but they had a game where everyone got in for free. They got 20,000 people into the game. I think that was really Clive Palmer's fault that flopped. They played decent football, made the finals, knocked us out of the finals one year. So expansion is...
They were a good side. I mean, I went to one of their games when I was up on the Gold Coast against North Queensland Fury, and it was good. I mean, they were a good side.
What is it, the F3 Derby or something? Or is that
no, that's Newcastle. Central Coast
which is even more thrilling. I mean,
huge crowds.
That's huge, yeah. Anyway, back onto the topic that we're talking about. Of course, the Socceroos did have a pretty, not the best performance, but do you think that James Troisi and Archie Thompson should be in Socceroos contention?
I think they should. Troisi's showed time and time again.
10 goals, 11 goals, including Wellington United.
Exactly,
so.
and I mean, he's second highest goal scorer in the league, so I should be able to, get a chance at least. I mean, come on, Ange, give Troisi.
What do you think of
Archie? I reckon he's got a chance as a sub, but I can't really see him playing too much starting football.
No, not starting football, but
especially since Ange likes bringing in young players.
Yeah, but you look at the record. He has 28 goals in his entire career, albeit 13 of them were against American Samoa. Not sure if you knew that he scored 13 goals against American Samoa.
Quite funny in a 31-0 win.
Oh yeah, it was a thrilling encounter, of course. But that was really the glory days of Oceania, but we're not going to get into that. Archie's, I think he still has a lot to offer, but a lot of people are going to start to say Harry Kill might get in there as well.
I can't see Harry coming.
Hart, they're now 8th, they're 6 points out of it. I'm not sure if they're going to make finals. Let's have a look at the table now. Brisbane Roar, of course, 44 points, flying in front of everyone. I don't see anyone catching up to them on the top of the table. 14 wins for the season. Wanderers, of course, they did lose out to Sydney FC the other day, and that was we'll talk about the Sydney derby a bit later, but we're so close now. Melbourne victory of third. All the Heart fans want to give us crap, but basically, no, we're still...
We are in touching distance of a second place spot, and
of course, and a Champions League playoff guaranteed.
Exactly.
And that's what we want. Of course, Perth Glory are not doing too well, bottom of the table. William Gallis's Perth, Shane Smelter's Perth, they have all the ingredients to be a good side, but they're just not doing it. We did have a 1-1 draw against them when we were fresh off a 10-0 aggregate score of over 2 rounds. So we weren't in the best form then. Coming out of good form, albeit the derby loss, we looked incredible on our day against Guangzhou. Can we do it against Perth?
I think so, and it's going to be a test of our depth again. I mean, we're going to have the Jeonbuk game on Wednesday, as I said, and then we got Perth, and then we've got to obviously follow that up with Yokohama the next week with Brisbane away again. So it's going to be 2 massive games. I mean, domestic especially, because we need at least, maybe 2 or 3 points out of that.
No doubt. Now we have to look towards the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors game. Huge side. They really are in Asia. Of course, former Asian Champions League winners. And a lot of Aussies and Melbourne Victory fans are never really too well informed about these Asian sides, but they really are giants that we should not underestimate. They're not quite the giants at Guangzhou over Grandar, but we do not want to underestimate this side. So this, of course, is the story of Jeonbuk Motors. A land with a proud history. Beautiful landmarks. Full of culture. The land not responsible for this, but rather this. The land that has strong exports and impressive World Cup performances. And the land that has claimed the Asian Champions League title 10 times over. Its domestic league, the K-League, has always fielded sides who challenge for continental glory, especially in recent years with the Pohang Steelers being crowned 2009 champions. Sasha Ogdanovsky's Seongnam Ilhwa, also champions in 2010, and Ulsan Hyundai, the 2012 champions, defeating Saudi giants Al Ahly. The Melbourne Victory now face the task of the Jeonbuk Motors, previous champions of the competition in 2006 and runners-up in 2011 against Al Sadd, narrowly losing on penalties. The Jeonbuk Motors 2013 was dominant, finishing third in the K-League behind Pohang and Ulsan and going undefeated in the AFC Champions League group stage, with 2 draws against eventual champions Guangzhou Evergrande, an away draw with Muangthong United in Bangkok, followed up by a victory in Korea, and 2 huge victories against J-League giants Urawa Red Diamonds. The Motors eventually lost to Kawashima Reysol in the round of 16, who would eventually be demolished by Guangzhou Evergrande, who the Melbourne Victory, sadly now, know the full wrath of. Our previous 2 Asian Champions League performances showed we indeed can go toe-to-toe with the very best of Asia. And with our mighty boys in blue fresh off a morale-boosting victory over the reigning champions, the Central Coast Mariners, can the Blue and White Army boast Asian success? Can the Victory look to impress at the Dockland Stadiums in Melbourne? With James Troisi on song, Archie Thompson keen to prove he's still got it in a World Cup year, with Costa Barbarouses having won over the hearts of the Melburnian faithful. Can he impress? Can the Melbourne Victory impress the millions of onlookers in this continental battle royale we call the AFC Champions League? Our campaign continues tomorrow evening. This is a match you don't want to miss. See you in the stands. Come on, you boys in blue.
Thanks for that, Danny. Interesting
Anytime.
feature there.
Anytime.
And of course, we're going to talk about the Sydney Derby now. Well,
Yeah.
it was a big game, and
Oh mate, I was on the edge of my seat. It was a thrilling encounter. I really loved every moment of it. I mean, I've never been happy to see a Sydney FC win, of course, because it does benefit us on the table.
exactly. I mean, you never want to see Sydney win. They're one of our rivals,
No.
main rivals as well. But it really benefited us because now we're only 1 point out of the 2.
No
top
doubt,
2, so.
no doubt. And of course, I mean, let's have a look at some of the highlights here. I know it's a Melbourne Victory supporters preview, but you can't deny that. I mean, the atmosphere was freaking electric, man.
It was, and that's pretty heartbreaking to see because, I mean,
It
we
is.
are the best fans in the country, and we should be living up to that standard. But,
I'm a North Terrace boy till I die, but that really put the North Terrace to shame. I know the situation, but that was pretty tough to watch, but it was amazing at the same time.
True.
Albeit a bunch of flogs, but yeah, we're not going to get into that. They really are, no. Of course, but no, the Sydney Derby ended up being quite exciting. Of course, Wanderers had a chance to go 2-0 up. I love this. Jan Jedovic says, I'll freaking dare you to kick right here. Bridge steps up, he kicks it, he says, oh, well, shit, he saved it. Didn't see that coming, did he?
it was very clever.
Ante Kovic, yes, we did it. Oh, shit, that's not our fans, is it? Ante Kovic has to be on the ball. He's another one in Socceroos contention. Either way, Wanderers did let it slip, and Sydney FC, well, they got a gift by Michael Butcher.
Oh, that was just absolutely horrible. And I mean, that was following a great header from German, but
Yeah.
after that, Beecham, he left the back pass about 3 metres short,
Yeah,
and
and then
Garcia stepped up and put it home.
Then the scuffle. The scuffle with Ali Abbas, of course, I believe it was Santalab, who, he is a cult hero within Wanderers circles, but to Sydney FC, he's not a friend to any Cove member or anything like that, because he had a right go at the culture and religion of Ali Abbas, the Iraqi international legend who won the Asian Cup with Iraq back in 2007. He's a well-respected player, is Ali, and to disrespect him in such a way is really uncalled for. And to be honest, I was really happy to see him score that goal, just to really give it to the RBB, give it to Santalab, and go celebrate with his fans. I know they might be sky blue, but racism has no place in this game at all.
And of course, anti-racism round was last weekend, and that was pretty difficult.
It was, yeah.
That's not good to see, and you never want to see that.
No.
Racism does not have a place in football.
It has no place in the game in Australia, of course. I'm right now wearing a Thai national football team shirt. As we well reported on, I went to the Muangthong game to support my Thai ethnicity, my Thai half. And in no way, I think because the cultures are very different, a lot of Victory fans are like, why would you do that? Well, in many ways, the cultural differences are very misunderstood. I'm going to support Muangthong does not mean I'm going to hate on Victory. Yeah. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, go and show disrespect to the Melbourne Victory. After the match, all the Victory players came by the Muangthong Bay, and we started clapping them. We even started a Melbourne chant to show respect. There was only like 50 of us, but still, it was a lot of respect shown, because that's how we do it in our culture, especially international games. And then the Muangthong United players go over to the North Terrace, South Terrace, bloody combination collective, whatever you want to call it, and they boo them. Of course, my mate Brad, who we shot that famous commercial with, he actually told everyone to just quit it. You can't do that, and people did quit it.
Well, there is no place for it.
But from what I heard from my mates in the North Terrace, there were racist calls going on in the North Terrace to the Asian players, to the Thai players, and that's uncalled for. And then we see Ali Abbas on the weekend. He's being insulted, and I actually want to show you guys this clip. I was really happy to hear Ali Abbas speak in the topic in a really mature way. Of course, he probably did get a bit of anger in the heat of the moment. The heat of the moment justifies reacting to racism. The heat of the moment does not justify being racist. Exactly. And let's have a look at the quote here from Ali Abbas.
A-League has been rocked by allegations of racial abuse on the field in last night's Sydney derby. Tomorrow, Sydney FC will lodge an official complaint with the FFA after claims by midfielder Ali Abbas that he was the victim of a racial taunt by a Wanderers player.
Well, it's mean a lot to us. We worked really hard during that week, and we've done it. We shut everyone up. So that's we work hard every day to get a result, and we done it today.
What about yourself tonight? You seemed you were in the thick of the action for most of it. What was going on?
Well, nothing going on. Just like sometimes players need to be professional and act professional. We're not here attack religion or culture. We're here play football. I come from different country. I respect everyone here. I should get it back. If I didn't get it back, I'm gonna attack. So that's what happened. So I'm against anything happen on the game. People attack religion, people attack culture. I'm against that. So we need to work on that, and we need to stop that.
Yeah, I think that's really mature from what he's done there.
Yeah, definitely.
Again, it's uncalled for, and all round, it was an amazing derby. I couldn't believe it was Australian football. But look, Sydney FC, they're a team to be reckoned with. I mean, we're lucky to say that we're above them on the table, especially given all our performances, including the 5-0 loss to them. And of course, we're looking at the highlights here of Sydney FC's last defeat over us. It was a 5-0 throbbing. Of course, Del Piero got 2 goals. It was really hard things to watch, wouldn't you say? And we've got them coming in the coming weeks too.
Exactly, we've got them coming over in 3 weeks, and it's going to be very tough because we're going to want to rebound from that horrible loss. And it's 2 losses on the trot to them now as well. Because we, of course, lost 3-2 over there earlier in the season in round 5. And it's going to have to be we're going to be out for revenge.
Okay, so that's our wrap of the domestic league. Now we have to look towards the Asian Champions League, Jeonbuk Motors. We did have a look at the feature with them before, however, we now have to look into the real details. Honestly, what's your predictions and what are the key factors and reasons for a Jeonbuk victory?
I'm going to go the same as I said against the Mariners. 2-1 victory.
Victory to win at home, of course.
Yes, because of the home advantage.
But of course,
Jeonbuk are a huge side,
yeah.
and they're going to be very difficult to beat. I mean,
what do we have to look out for?
We're going to have to look out for quite a few of their players. I mean, they've got their captain, Lee Dong-guk.
Yeah, Lee Dong-guk. I mean, he's a beast. He's an international for South Korea. I've heard of him on FIFA, and like, oh man, I signed him for Sheffield Wednesday. I'm out of the Premier League, top scorer. True fact. Look out for him, eh? And also, I mean, their response to Guy Finkler is Lee Seung-gi. I mean, Guy versus Guy. I mean, it's going to be a tough affair. Look, I mean, we can make all the name puns we want, but they're a side that can't be underestimated. Of course, they won the Champions League in 2006,
which gave them the World Cup.
They've made it.
Appearance as well.
They've made it 8 times over. I mean, they've got Alex Wilkinson, the Australian international. Of course, they've got 6 capped South Korean players, 3 Brazilian players. And we really have to look out for these guys because they had a big victory over the Yokohama Marinos last week.
3-0 win at home, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they're going to be tough to play. I mean, we've got the home ground advantage, so we really have to hammer on this. We got Yokohama next week as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was Lee Seung-gi with those 2 goals. And, of course, Leonardo setting up the... scoring the goal, the penalty, the Brazilian player. Look, I mean, there's a lot of Brazilians in the South Korean league, and there is a lot of quality there. There are debates going on which league's better, A-League or K-League, but it's always good to see the 2 divisions go up against each other. But there is no question that the J-League is bigger than both of them, and Jeonbuk went ahead and defeated Yokohama from the J-League 3-0. I think if we bring the same football that we did against Guangzhou, we can get a good crowd out, which we're not. Well, let's face it, we're not going to get a big crowd.
Well, in the past, there haven't been very big Asian Champions League crowds. I remember a game against Tianjin Tita a few years ago.
Oh, I was there.
It was quite a poor crowd, and that was quite heartbreaking. So I reckon everyone try and get out to this game because the boys need to support.
Here's the thing, I've spoken to North Terrace blokes and they're just like, nah, I'm not going to go to the game. I mean, I don't see, I mean, we're not going to have another chat. The Perth game is in Western Australia.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in essence, this is the only home game that we're going to have this week.
Yep.
And then, of course, we have Brisbane Roar, which is another away game.
Exactly.
And then we've got Sydney.
We have Yokohama next week as well, which is a home game.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really need to hammer down and get some big crowds out to these
man,
Champions League
look,
games. Because, they are important games.
They got 40k out to Guangzhou. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously population is a factor, but I mean, victory, we really have to step it up. I'm sorry, man. The crowd, we used to be famous for our crowds, and I know that the North Terrace situations really mucked us all up. But seeing the scenes in Western Sydney Wanderers versus Sydney FC on the weekend was really tough to see. And just to see Melbourne boys not being the number 1 supporters in any regard. I know it's a derby, but they did actually outdo our derby against Melbourne Heart. Mm-hmm. Probably Melbourne Heart's fault because they just have like 3 fans. Irregardless, I'd love to see a huge crowd. I'd be delighted with 10,000. We got 12.
10,000 would be great.
We got 12,000 against Murtong United,
exactly. So we should try and get that
you'd reckon that would get a 15,000. If we can get 15,000, that's pretty much our average at the moment.
I know it's a Wednesday night game, but if you're going to be working in the city, stay in.
Yeah.
Head to the game and give the boys some support.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that's what I'll be doing from uni.
No doubt. Okay, so of course, Jeonbuk Motors this weekend. It's about all we have time for. Mm-hmm. We already know our players to watch for the victory, of course. We've got our main man, Tommy Rogic, Guy Finkler in the centre. We've spoken about this all before.
Costa Barbarosis.
Can't stop them. They did well against the Central Coast Mariners. We know who to look out for them. Of course, the players to watch for the Jeonbuk Motors, well, we know they're Leonardo. He is top assists for the league last year.
Yep.
They did just lose a Belgian striker, but they do mean business. Of course, Dong-guk and Seung-gi, they are real badass players.
Yep,
so,
definitely. Leonardo scored a penalty last week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that is all. Like I said, we have time for here on the MVS preview. My prediction will be a 1-0 victory to the Melbourne Victory. I'm calling it the first clean sheet in a long time. It's going to come against Asian opposition.
It's a big call. I reckon if we have Lawrence Thomas in, it's going to be 3-2. But if Ko gets another start, I'm saying 2-1.
I'm telling you, bring back Mitchell Angwarak. We need more of this. This is This is, I mean, I can't believe we gave this up in the first place. I know he had an amazing run in Asia in 2010. It's good to see him doing well for the Socceroos.
In all seriousness, he was a quality player, and he did have the one bad game against Ecuador on the weekend. But when he was playing for us, he did save us quite a few games in that Champions League campaign.
I talk about my man crushes in football a lot, but by far, Mitch Langreck is my biggest man crush. Mitch, you and me, next time you're in Melbourne, just call me, right? Alright, so that's all we have time for. Of course, a 1-0 victory. I'm picking a 2-1 victory for the Melbourne victory against the Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors. Of course, we have to say congratulations to Matty S, who won the match-signed ball in our competition to celebrate 8,000 likes on Facebook. Remember to like us on Melbourne Victory Supporters on Facebook. We're always keeping you guys updated and, of course, posting these videos and everything.
Yeah, check out MVS Media on YouTube.
Of course.
And keep sharing us around because we have some more prizes coming out very soon.
And, of course, hit the subscribe button. That is all we have time for. I'll catch you guys next time. See you soon.
Oppan Gangnam Style.